Hi, my name is David, and I'm going to walk you through how I solved the CSWA practice problem 9.5, which includes 9.5a, b, and c. Now, if you're coming to this video because you didn't get the same center of masses as the answer key, then don't worry. It's possible you're correct. I discovered that the center of masses from the answer key are based on parts from an older version of these practice problems. The ones who wrote the practice problems must have changed the parts slightly, which changed the center of masses, but just forgot to update the answer key accordingly. So I put the center of masses that I got in the description, and we're going to work on it here in this video. But you can just check the description in case you'd like to compare right now. But having said that, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is open up a new assembly and make sure that we got the units correct. So we will go Control N, click Assembly, hit Enter, and we're already set to MMGS, so we're good to go there. Now we can insert the base at the origin. So we'll go into Insert Components. I've got all the parts unzipped in a folder here. And we'll double click on Base. And we want to set it at the origin, so we'll hit the green check mark. Okay, now we'll insert the rest of the components. That's bottom linkage down to top linkage, so I can hold down Shift to select an interval of files and start putting the pieces down, the parts down. So I'll click here, I'll put this one here, put this one over here. Now for this through rod, what I want to do, look how it's automatically snapping things together. You can also use that feature if you like. But for this through rod, what I'm going to do is rotate it like the picture. So basically the through rod needs to be going, I need to rotate it to the left. We need to rotate about the y-axis, in other words. And that's actually looking pretty good. So I'm going to put it down. This piece is upside down, so I need to rotate it about the z-axis. That would be a good rotation, a couple times. There we go. And then this piece is also upside down, so I'll rotate it about the z-axis a couple times. This is a top linkage piece. Goes up here somewhere. Okay, so we got all the pieces. Remember, this base is fixed. That's what the F means there, to the origin in this particular case. So let's start putting the pieces together. Now, what I'm going to do is work off the base and link stuff to the base because the base is already fixed. So I'm going to work on that first. Okay, I'll take this bottom linkage and connect it to the base. And I'm not going to bother going into mate mode like the mate interface. I'm just going to go right in here, select this curved face, hold down Control, select this other curved face, and a context menu pops up where I can hit concentric. So that's pretty quick. Now I want to make sure that this face is coincident to this face, so they're flush up against each other. So again, select both of them, little context menu pops up. Technically, if we didn't know that these were flush up against each other, we could use the width mate, and I've done that in some other videos too, just when I wasn't sure, but I'm pretty sure about this one, that these two are flush up against each other, that there's not a gap that opens up. So there we go. Let's check the rotation, looking pretty good. To make a copy of this, I'll just Control left click and drag to make a copy. And then start making the same mates. So we'll make this concentric with this guy. And then this coincident to this face here. Okay, good. Now let's go ahead and work on the top linkages. Move this piece out of the way. So we're going to connect the top linkages to the bottom linkages. So we'll make concentric mate here. And notice how the top linkage is wider than the bottom linkage. So we're going to want to make the inner face of the top linkage coincident to the outer face of the bottom linkage. Okay, there we go. Looking good. Okay, so I'm going to hold down Control, left click and drag to make a copy. Then start working on making the same mates for these guys. So concentric, and then the inner face of this guy and the outer face of the other guy. Make sure they're coincident. Okay, pretty good so far. Okay, so let's take this black piece right here and connect it. We want to make this curved face concentric to this curved face. And same thing for this curved face and this curved face, make them concentric. Okay, good, that's going in place. And then this black piece is not as wide as these top linkages. So, whoops. So we're going to take the outer face of that black part and make it coincident to the inner face of the top linkage, one of the top linkages. All right. Looking good. Now we still have a lot of weird movement that can be made if we just drag this around, and we don't really want that. If we look at the picture, the diagram here, there's like a symmetry that's going on right here about this axis. We want the center of this to be lined up with the center of this. And one way of thinking about that is to line up the planes of this guy with the plane of either the base or just the whole assembly, since the base origin and planes are going to be matched up with the origin and planes of the whole assembly. So let's take a look at those planes. So what I'm going to do is mouse over this guy, hit Q, and see all the planes for this part. So I'm going to select the right plane, and then I can either do the base or just the whole assembly by mousing over somewhere in the empty space right here. Hit Q, so these are all the planes for the assembly, and you can see that we have a right plane here. If we match this right plane with this right plane, that's going to line up and create that symmetry that we want. So I'm going to control click on this right plane, create a coincident mate. So now these two planes are going to be perfectly lined up. And now if we try to move this part, it's only going to move up and down. And that's exactly what we want. You might have thought about making, you might have noticed like this top face right here is parallel to this bottom face. You might have thought about making a mate like that, and that's what I was doing originally. But I kept getting more degrees of freedom than I wanted, and there wasn't that symmetry that was going on. So when you tackle the symmetry, that automatically makes the top face here parallel to the bottom face down here. That's kind of nice. Okay, so now we have to put these black pieces in and then put the rod through them and then finally finish off with the pins. So to put the black pieces in, I'm going to use the smart mates. So I'm going to take this edge, grab the edge by holding Alt and then left click, and then drag it over to the face of this top linkage here. And then I can release Alt, release left click, and there it is. If it's still see-through like this, you can hit Control Q to rebuild, and that's looking good. Okay, I'm going to rotate this part also so that the curved face is ready to be skewered with this rod here. Okay, so we need another one of those parts over on the other side. So let's Control left click and drag. And we'll do the same thing. Let me make sure we don't have anything selected, so nothing is going wrong there. So I'm going to hold down Alt, grab this edge. It has to be the circle that's on the outside, like the very far side of the part, because we want that to be coincident to this face right here. So if we grab that circle edge with Alt and drag it over to this face here. Now it's going the wrong way, but we're going to see how to fix that. So if right now I'm holding down Alt and holding down the left mouse button, if I release Alt and I hit the Tab key, that'll flip the alignment, and then I can release the left mouse button. Okay, it's still see-through, so I'm going to hit Control Q to rebuild. And this one is rotated roughly correctly, so I'm going to leave it as is. Now, we want to put this rod through both of those black pieces. So let's go into mate mode, and I've got mine set to a mouse gesture, but you can also click on this icon up here. So I right click and drag to the left and it goes into mate mode because I've got it set up that way. And then you can go into the interface here and go to multiple mate mode. Oh, if you wanted to set up the mouse gestures, by the way, it's tools, and then customize, and then mouse gestures. Very cool if you haven't already set those up. So with multiple mate mode, you can select this curved face here, and then select a bunch of other curved faces that you want to apply the same mate to. So I'm going to select this curved face in here. You can see it's already selecting the concentric mate automatically. And then this curved face right here. All right. And if I were careful, I could have right-clicked to hit OK, but I can also hit Enter. Okay. So that's looking good. Now, for the rod, it's a little hard to tell if this gap should be down or if it should be up. But if you look at the top view, then it kind of looks like it should be down. Let's take a look at that after we make this final mate here. Actually, let's take a look here. Okay, so there's a little detail here, and it says that this curved face of the black piece should be tangent to the inside face of the rod there. Let's do that first. We'll click on this guy, Control click on this interface, so that these two are going to be flush up against each other, and I just lost my context window there. Do that again. Okay, there we go, tangent. So that locks it into place. And if you look at the top view, the detail that we're seeing in the picture here seems to match pretty well. If we flip it upside down, this curve right here will be a little bit farther away, and so it doesn't quite match the picture. It's really hard to tell. And honestly, you know, like from here, it looks like the gap is a little bit down probably, but you're looking at pixels right here. It's pretty tough to tell. But ultimately, it actually doesn't matter too for your final answer, your final center of mass. It's a detail that doesn't affect your final answer, thankfully. But if you want to make sure that you don't rotate it accidentally to some other direction, you might want to consider lining up the plane of this guy right here. So line up this plane, plane right here, with the plane from the assembly. So I'm going to hit Control, left click, and make these coincident. And that makes sure that this is not going to be rotating. All right. So finally, let's go ahead and put these pins into place. So we're going to put these pins into place down, oops, where are we? Here we go. Down over here. And I'm going to try to use Smart Mates again. That's the one where you can grab this edge, hold down Alt, left click, and drag to this face here. And it should, or closer to this face, like this curved face. And it looks like it's going in the right place, but it's just the opposite alignment. So I'm going to release the Alt button, hit Tab, and that'll flip the alignment. And then I can release the mouse button. Okay, now I can hold down Control, left click, and drag to make another copy, and do the same process. Alt, left click. Once again, I need to flip the alignment. There we go. Let's do that up here as well. And we might even be able to, let's see, there we go, okay. Alt, left click, and drag. We want to make sure it's not going in. We want to make sure it's aligning to that outer face there. Release, and then Tab, and then release left mouse button, and then we'll do it one more time. Release, Tab, release. Okay. Hit Control Q, because it looks like all those things are still see-through. Okay, looking pretty good. Looking very good. So basically this guy can move up and down. So we just have one last thing to do, which is set the distance mate from the top to the bottom at 297. So to set up that mate, we can click on the top, rotate, click on the bottom, hold down Control and left click on the bottom, and we want the distance mate, which is this guy here, 297. Hit enter again. I'll hit Control 7 to get that nice isometric view. That's looking pretty good. So we can check out our mass properties, and our center of mass here is negative 2.37, and then y is 124.96, and z is 0.0. If we look at the answer, it's different. But as mentioned at the beginning of this video, they changed the parts from the time that they made this answer to the time that they released these practice problems. And so the practice problems, the parts that are released with these practice problems are a little bit different from the parts that made this center of mass. So I think our center of mass, which is pretty close to this center of mass, is correct. I've seen some other videos out there that have gotten the same center of mass, but if you got something different, let me know, and let me know what you did. But with that said, let's go ahead and move on to part B. Pretty much all we're going to do is take the same assembly and just change the number to 420. So nothing too special here. We'll go back into here, go into our mates, go to the distance mate, edit feature, and change this. Actually, it gave me a little context window here. Nice. We can change it here or change it right here. And we want to change it to 420. Hit enter, enter, and check our center of mass. We've got negative 0.44, 181.87, and 0. If we check over here, pretty close, but not the same. But again, different parts. Okay, so let's do the last one here. All we have to do is just change to 612. So go back in, edit this feature. This time it didn't give me a context window, maybe because I had something else selected. 612. So cool how that moves like that. I guess I'm easily impressed. Okay, so center of mass 5.97, 270.58, and 0. If we go over here, once again, different but close. Okay, well, thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. Take care and keep studying.